This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.
Here's your report.
Oh, thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire someone just like you.
Try LinkedIn Hiring Pro. It's more than a job board. It's like the recruiter you always wished you had. Hiring Pro uses real-time insights to match your role to LinkedIn's unique network of professionals and delivers a short list of best fit candidates. You'll spend less time sorting applicants and more time talking to the right people.
Let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Summer Grind, Building Your Peak, Season Blueprint. Welcome to the Peak Performance Podcast. I am Brad Young, and today we are diving deep into one of my favorite topics, using the summer months as a strategic training window to build your peak, protect your body composition, and set the tone for everything that comes after. This is not a casual summer workout guide. This is your blueprint. Lock in. Why summer is your competitive advantage. Let me be straight with you right out of the gate. Most people waste summer. They take the foot off the gas, they let consistency slide, and they tell themselves they will get back to it in the fall. And then September rolls around and they are starting over from scratch. That is not you. That is not why you are here listening to this podcast. Summer is one of the most powerful training seasons of the entire year if you approach it with intention. The longer days give you more windows to train. The heat itself becomes a conditioning tool. The social energy of the season, the outdoor activities, the movement, the culture around being active, all of that is working in your favor if you know how to use it. I've trained some of the highest performing athletes and professionals I know, and the ones who show up in October ready to dominate are almost always the ones who treated summer like a job in July and August. Here's the mindset shift I want you to make right now. Stop thinking of summer as a break from your program. Start thinking of it as a phase within your program, a peak season phase. One with its own objectives, its own intensity targets, its own recovery protocols, and its own standards. When you frame it that way, every single day of summer becomes purposeful. Every workout, every meal, every sleep decision, it all feeds into the blueprint. Longer training windows. More daylight means more flexibility to train morning, midday, or evening without losing sunlight. Heat adaptation. Training in the heat builds cardiovascular efficiency and mental toughness that transfers to all conditions. Outdoor environment. Nature provides terrain, resistance, and variety that no gym can fully replicate. Cultural momentum. The season's energy around activity and health makes it easier to stay disciplined and consistent, building your personalized peak season blueprint. Before we talk about specific workouts or training splits, I want to walk you through the foundation of your summer blueprint, because here's what I see happen all the time. People jump straight into programming without ever defining what peak performance actually means for them this season. And when you do not define it, you cannot measure it. And when you cannot measure it, you drift. Your blueprint starts with 3 questions. First, what is the primary physical outcome you want by the end of summer? We're talking specific and honest. Maybe it is carrying less body fat while maintaining or building lean muscle. Maybe it is improving your cardiovascular base. Maybe it is increasing your functional strength so that you move better in every area of life. Whatever it is, name it clearly and write it down somewhere. You will see it every single day. Second question, what are your available training days and windows? I want you to be realistic here. not aspirational. If you can genuinely commit to 5 days a week of structured training, great. If it is 4 days, build around 4 days and make those 4 days exceptional. The worst thing you can do is design a 7-day program and hit 3 days, because then you spend the other 4 days feeling like a failure instead of feeling like someone who crushed 3 elite sessions. Third question, what is your recovery infrastructure? Sleep, nutrition, stress management, hydration. These are not optional pillars. They are the foundation that everything else sits on. Your summer blueprint is only as strong as your recovery plan. And I will say that louder for the people in the back. Once you have answered those 3 questions honestly, you have the skeleton of your blueprint. Everything else we talk about today, the workouts, the outdoor programming, the intensity protocols, all of it gets layered on top of that foundation. Do not skip this step. It is the most important 15 minutes you will spend all season. Functional exercise. Training for real life dominance. I need to spend some real time here because I think functional exercise is one of the most misunderstood and underutilized training approaches in mainstream fitness culture. People hear functional and they picture some guy balancing on a Bosu ball doing a bicep curl and they tune out. That is not what I'm talking about. Functional exercise, the way I define and program it, means training your body to perform excellently across a wide range of real-world demands. Carrying heavy things, sprinting when you need to, jumping over obstacles, pushing, pulling, rotating, stabilizing. The summer environment is the absolute best playground for functional training. Parks, trails, beaches, fields, playgrounds, these are your gym. A park bench becomes a step-up box, a pull-up bar, a dip station. A hill becomes a sled. A beach becomes a resistant surface that challenges your stabilizers on every single step. Open grass becomes a sprint track, an agility course, a broad jump mat. Hill sprints. The single greatest bang for your buck outdoor power movement. Short duration, maximum output, full body engagement, 10 to 12 second efforts up a steep grade with full recovery between reps. Outdoor pull bars. Upper body pulling strength is foundational. Vary your grip. See wide, neutral, close, and progress to weighted pulls as your summer progresses. Most parks have these if you look. Broad jumps and bounds. Horizontal power development through jumping and bounding across the ground. These build explosive hip extension and train the landing mechanics that keep you injury resistant all season. Loaded carries. Carry something heavy across distance, a sandbag, a kettlebell, a loaded backpack. Nothing builds total body functional strength and core stability quite like moving under load through space. The beauty of a functional outdoor approach is that it keeps training feeling alive and dynamic. You are not staring at a wall doing the same movement in the same machine week after week. You are exploring, adapting, problem solving with your body. That engagement matters for long-term consistency, and long-term consistency is what actually produces results. Intensity, recovery, and the art of training smart. I want to address something directly because I hear this from high performers constantly. They think more is always more. If 3 workouts a week is good, 6 must be better. If moderate intensity works, maximum intensity every day must work even better. And then they wonder why they are exhausted, injured, or stalled out by week 4 of summer. More is not always more. Better is more. Here's how I think about intensity management for a summer training block. Your session should fall into 3 categories: high intensity, moderate intensity, and active recovery. And the ratio matters enormously. I recommend roughly 20% high intensity, 50 to 60% moderate intensity, and 20 to 30% active recovery or low effort movement. That ratio is not random. It is built around how your nervous system and hormonal systems actually respond to training stress over time. High intensity sessions are your hill sprints, your heavy functional strength work, your anaerobic conditioning intervals. These sessions should leave you spent, but not destroyed. If you are crawling out of every workout barely functional, you are not training hard, you are just exhausting yourself. Save the true maximum effort days for 2 or at most 3 sessions per week Protect those sessions by making sure you are rested going into them. Moderate intensity is where a lot of your body composition work happens and where your aerobic base gets built. A 45 to 60-minute trail run at a conversational to comfortably hard pace. A swim, a bike ride. These sessions should feel challenging and rewarding without feeling like they are breaking you down. You should finish them feeling accomplished and energized, not devastated. Train hard. 2 to 3 high-intensity sessions weekly with maximum focus and output. Build smart. 4 moderate sessions per week building your aerobic base and body composition. Recover intentionally. Active recovery days with walking, mobility, and breath work. Not rest days, recovery days. Repeat in progress. Add small measurable progressions every 2 weeks, not every session. Keeping body fat low without sacrificing performance. This is a topic that comes up in almost every conversation I have with athletes and high performers during the summer months. Everyone wants to look and feel lean. There's nothing wrong with that. Confidence in your body composition affects how you show up, how you carry yourself, and how you perform. But I also see people go about this in ways that actively sabotage their performance, and I want to make sure you are not one of them. The number one mistake I see, and I say this with love, is too much caloric restriction paired with too much training volume. People think the equation is simple. Eat less, train more, get leaner. And that works to a point, but push it too far, and your body reads that as a survival threat. Your cortisol spikes, your testosterone drops, your recovery tanks. You lose muscle. You start feeling and performing worse, and then you restrict more because the scale is not moving, and you spiral. Here's the approach that actually works. Fuel your training. Do not starve it. Eat quality whole foods in amounts that support your training volume. Lean proteins, complex carbohydrates timed around your workouts, healthy fats, and abundant vegetables. Get your caloric deficit through the training itself and through small strategic reductions in the lowest quality foods in your diet, not through slashing your intake across the board. Prioritize protein. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight daily. This protects your muscle tissue while you are in a caloric deficit and supports recovery from hard outdoor sessions. Hydrate aggressively. Summer heat dramatically increases your fluid and electrolyte needs. Half your body weight in ounces of water daily at minimum, and add electrolytes on high sweat days. Time your carbs. Eat the majority of your carbohydrates in the hours surrounding your training sessions. This fuels performance and recovery while minimizing fat storage during quieter periods of the day. Sleep to burn. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep is your most powerful body composition tool. Growth hormone is released during deep sleep cycles, and sleep deprivation directly impairs fat metabolism. If you nail those 4 pillars consistently across the summer, you will arrive at fall leaner, more muscular, and performing at a higher level than when you started. That is the outcome we are building toward, not a crash, not a transformation show, a sustainable, high-performing body that serves you all year long. The mental conditioning layer. I would be doing you a disservice if I gave you the entire physical framework without addressing the mental conditioning piece, because honestly, this is where championships are won and lost. The physical training is the vehicle, but the mental conditioning is the engine, and summer provides some of the most powerful natural environments for developing mental toughness that I know of. Let me share what I actually practice and recommend. Every morning of a training day, before I touch anything else, I spend 10 minutes in what I call intentional orientation. This is not complicated. I sit quietly, I breathe deliberately, I remind myself what I am building toward and why it matters, and I set an intention for the session ahead. Not a goal, an intention. Goals are outcomes. Intentions are about how I will show up regardless of the outcome. This practice takes 10 minutes and it fundamentally changes the quality of every training session I do. The outdoor environment also serves as a mental conditioning tool in ways people often overlook. Training in the heat teaches you to continue when discomfort increases. Running a trail with uneven terrain teaches you to adapt and problem solve in real time. Finishing a long run when everything in your mind is telling you to stop teaches you the most important lesson in all of performance: show that you are capable of more than your thoughts tell you you are. That lesson transfers everywhere. Morning intentional orientation. 10 minutes of quiet breathing and mental priming before every training session. Set your intention, not just your goal. Remind yourself why this matters and how you want to show up today, regardless of how the session feels. Heat and discomfort as a teacher. When the summer heat rises and everything in you wants to ease up, recognize that moment as a training opportunity. The discomfort is the practice. Your response to it is the skill you are building. Session reflection. 5 minutes after each workout to reflect on what you brought, what you learned, and what you will carry forward. Not judgment, observation. High performers debrief themselves the same way coaches debrief athletes after competition. Creating momentum that carries into fall. Here's something I genuinely believe. The most important outcome of your summer training block is not the physical results you see in the mirror. Those are real and they matter. But the most important outcome is the momentum, the identity, and the habits you carry out of summer and into the rest of your year. Because September and October and beyond are going to present their own challenges. New schedules, less sunlight, indoor environments, life getting busier again. And the people who dominate those months are the ones who built an unshakable foundation in the months before. Momentum compounds. When you have 5 weeks of consistent training behind you, the 6th week feels inevitable. When you have 10 weeks of consistent early mornings and high quality sessions, your identity is shifted. You are not someone who is trying to train consistently. You are someone who trains consistently. That shift is everything. It changes how you make decisions, how you respond to setbacks, how you feel about yourself on days when the workout is hard. I want you to think about 3 specific things you are building this summer that will transfer directly into fall. Your aerobic base, every long run, every bike ride, every swim you put in now becomes the platform that makes fall training easier and more productive. Your mental toughness, every time you push through discomfort, finish a session you did not want to start, or choose the hard thing over the easy thing, you are making a deposit in the account that funds everything else. And your habits, the morning routines, the recovery protocols, the nutrition disciplines, these do not disappear when summer ends if you have truly embedded them into your daily life. Weeks 1 and 2. Establish the pattern. Show up consistently. Build the habit before building the intensity. Weeks 3 and 4. Increase training load gradually. Add 1 additional set, 1 more sprint rep, 5 more minutes of conditioning. Weeks 5 and 6. Peak intensity phase. Push your limits on power and conditioning days. Trust your recovery process. Weeks 7 and 8. Deload and integrate. Drop volume by 30%, maintain intensity. Let the adaptation solidify into fall. You arrive with a built base, strong habits, and the identity of someone who does the work. Your sample summer training week. I want to give you something concrete and actionable right now. A sample training week that you can pick up and run with starting this Monday. This is not a rigid prescription, it is a template. Adjust the days to fit your schedule, swap outdoor movements for ones that work in your specific environment, and scale the intensity to where you actually are right now, not where you hope to be. Day, pillar, session focus, duration, Monday, power. Hill sprints, broad jumps, medicine ball throws, a 10 to 12 second max effort reps with full recovery. 30 minutes on Tuesday. Conditioning, trail run or open water swim at moderate to comfortably hard intensity, conversational, to hard breathing. 45 to 60 minutes on Wednesday. Skill and mobility, outdoor yoga flow, gymnastics movement practice, agility ladder work, joint mobility sequences on grass, 40 minutes. Thursday, power, outdoor functional strength, loaded carries, pull-ups on park bars, dips, body weight plyometrics, farmer carries, 35 minutes. Friday, conditioning, long bike ride or run on varied outdoor terrain, lower intensity, longer duration, aerobic base building focus, 60 to 90 minutes. Saturday, active recovery, long walk in nature, light swimming, breathwork session, outdoor mobility flow, no structured training, 45 to 60 minutes. Sunday at full rest, complete rest or gentle walking only. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and mental restoration for the week ahead. Flexible. That is 5 structured training sessions, 1 active recovery session, and 1 full rest day. That is the rhythm. Do not drift from the rest days when you are feeling good. Those are the days that actually make the hard days possible. Protect your rest with the same energy you protect your training. This is your season. Lock in. I want to close this episode by bringing it back to something simple and true. Summer is not a pause. Summer is not a vacation from your goals. Summer is an opportunity, maybe the best one your calendar gives you all year, to do the work in an environment that naturally supports it, to build discipline when the conditions are favorable, and to arrive on the other side of the season a genuinely different version of yourself. The blueprint I have laid out for you today is not complicated. Define your outcome, build your training week around the 3-pillar framework, power, conditioning, and skill. Lean into outdoor and functional exercise as your primary training tools. Fuel your performance smartly, protect your recovery like it is your most valuable asset, and develop the mental conditioning that makes all of it stick. That is it. That is the system. What separates the people who use summer from the people who lose summer is not talent, and it is not even time. It is decision making. It is the decision made at 6 in the morning when the alarm goes off. It is the decision made at the dinner table when the easy choice is in front of you. It is the decision to show up for your session on the day when motivation is completely absent. Those decisions, made consistently over 12 to 14 weeks, become the results that other people look at in October and wonder how you got there. You now know how to get there. You have the blueprint. What you do with it is entirely up to you, and I know you are going to build something you are proud of. Thank you for being here with me. On the Peak Performance Podcast, I am Brad Young, and I will see you in the next episode. Now go get to work. Define your outcome. Name it clearly. Write it down. See it every day. Execute the blueprint. Power conditioning skill, 5 days a week, outdoors with intention. Protect recovery. Sleep, fuel, and rest are not optional. They are the program. Build the identity. 12 weeks from now, you are not trying to be disciplined. You are disciplined.